Oh my God!
Take it so far.
Jeff, do you copy?
Oh, hi there. My name is Prostetnik Vogon Jeffs, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the 2024 Christmas debacle, Red 1. It's a holiday catastrophe directed by Jake Kasdan, who directed two great movies, Zero Effect and Walk Hard, and nothing of any substance since. He's joined by an all-star cast of actors like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Chris Evans, Lucy Liu, and J.K. Simmons, and does his best to answer the question, what do you get when you combine Elf with a comedic bit from Scrooged and wrap it up in a Marvel superhero movie about Christmas mythology? The answer? Garbage. You get garbage.
Would you like to see?
I f***ing hate this f***ing movie.
I'm not joking about the Marvel thing either. Red 1 is supposed to be the first movie in a Christmas action movie franchise.
I sincerely doubt that.
An MCU, a Merry Christmas universe, a Kringleverse, if you will. The concept was developed by 7 Bucks Productions, which is The Rock's own production company. We can thank them for nearly a decade of absolutely horrible movies, including The Rock's Black Adam flick. I guess Dwayne was a bit sore after not being able to spin that one into a franchise. So here we are. You know, the crazy thing about this is that if Dwayne hadn't taken a $50 million payday for this turd, the movie might have been profitable. Just kidding. They haven't even recouped production, let alone marketing costs. It would take a Christmas miracle for this movie to make its money back. This movie is terrible, and I'm going to spoil the shit out of it. Alright, Alright, it's 30 years ago, and Jack O'Malley is a young Chris Evans, a jaded little brat who figured out Santa isn't real. That's a holiday bonus spoiler right there. Okay, where was I? Right, Jack figured out the truth about Santa and started a candy racket to red pill his cousins. Quick aside, this whole prologue is lame, because all it does is insinuate that Jack's future life of crime is due to his lack of faith in Santa. And considering how not everyone who learns about Santa turns out to be an unlikable criminal, it's basically just showing us that Jack has always been a little shit. Alright, back to present day. Surprising no one, Jack has graduated from little shit to huge turd. He's a thief. He's indebted to a bookie.
Where's my money?
I'm getting you your money. I told you I'm going to get you your money. I'm on a job right now.
He's an arsonist. He's a hacker. He's every movie cliche you can think of. And he steals candy from babies. Get it?
Too much?
He's so good at his job, it's so easy for him that it's like stealing candy from a baby. Oh God, this movie can go straight to hell.
I know, you're disappointed.
I am disappointed.
Okay, it's Christmas Eve or maybe the day before that, I don't know. But we're at some random mall with The Rock, who plays Callum Drift. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna call him Dwayne for the rest of the video. So Dwayne is Santa's top bodyguard, commander of the Enforcement, Logistics, and Fortification Unit of Big Red's Security Detail, otherwise known as ELF.
It's ELF.
Santa, played by J.K. Simmons, wanted to go slumming with the commoners, so he commandeered a mall attraction, and Dwayne, sick of sniffing his boss's food like a dog, decides it's time to retire.
Won't be the same without you, Cal. It'll be exactly the same without me.
They head back to the North Pole to prepare for the big night, but Santa's sled lets one rip as it exits warp speed, and the seismic activity is picked up by none other than Jack, our brilliant hacker person guy. Jack immediately sells the data to a mysterious voice.
Wiring the first half now, the rest, and the data is verified.
Gets a significant payday.
Yes! Yes!
And loses a good chunk of it, if not all of it, on a boxing match.
No! Oh my God!
Back at the North Pole, Dwayne and Santa have a heart-to-heart about Dwayne's retirement.
So, what's going on here?
The naughty list has been growing at a rapid clip, and Dwayne doesn't feel the same way about his job anymore. He's disillusioned and lacking purpose. Wow, that hits close to home. Santa supports Dwayne, obviously, and they eat some cookies. Oh, but shortly after, a group of bad guys break into Wakanda, the North Pole, and abduct Big Red. Dwayne chases the bad guys through Arkham City and out into the barren snowscape of the Arctic, using an avalanche to stop his fleeing target. But it's a decoy, and Santa is gone. Way to go, Dwayne! But no, it's not all Dwayne's fault. Some of the blame rests on the shoulders of the Wolf.
Looks like the Wolf.
The Wolf.
Who the hell is the wolf?
Mercenary, bounty hunter, works for the highest bidder, a ghost on the dark web.
And I can't be the only person who doesn't buy Chris Evans as any of those things, right? Right? Never mind. Cut back to Jack, being a complete slob. Aw, that's cute. He's an alcoholic who sleeps in a bathtub. Oh, and what's this? He's an absent father, too?
Allegedly.
Say it ain't so.
I don't know what's going on with him these days. He's acting out.
Maybe it's because his dad wears eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Jack heads back to his apartment after a long, hard day of being a deadbeat father. He's then attacked by a dozen or so Mora agents. Oh, right, we haven't talked about Mora yet. Lucy, what does Mora stand for?
The Mythological Oversight and Restoration Authority.
Perfect, thank you. It's a military organization that deals with mythological creatures in the same way that the MIB dealt with aliens. Same thing. Lucy Liu's Zoe Harlow pulls some Agent Smith level bullshit and captures Jack in a random location she could never have anticipated. But let's not dwell. Jack is transported to the North Pole, where he is interrogated by Zoe, Dwayne, and a polar bear named Garcia. And while Jack doesn't know who he sold Santa out to,
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
They always know something.
he and Zoe come to an arrangement and he agrees to help. He tracks down the broker behind his last job to a beach in Aruba. Dwayne and Jack head out to prepare for their mission and participate in some of the most blatant product placement I've ever seen. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Dwayne uses his PIM particles to biggie-size a Hot Wheels car, and the two head off to find the broker. Meanwhile, Kiernan Shipka makes snow globes of doom with power siphoned from a helpless Santa. Cool. Back at the beach, Dwayne and Jack find the broker and get into a fight with his guards. Dwayne uses his Ant-Man boots to take them all out. No big deal. And the broker reveals that Kiernan Shipka isn't Kiernan Shipka at all.
Who is it?
I can't say her name. She will hear.
Write her name in the sand.
Rila?
You idiot!
Gryla? No!
The Winter Witch,
She's actually a 900-year-old ogre with 13 sons who kill on command.
being the vain bitch that she is, witch. The vain witch that she is, Grilla manages to overhear Jack say her name and possesses the body of the broker.
It is not to be warrior!
Nick Kroll, you are in way over your head.
The world will be much, much
Nicer.
This was not the right role for you.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Grilla sends a squadron of evil snowmen to eliminate them.
Get him out of here! He's our only lead! Don't let him get iced!
Jack and the broker make a run for it, but can't escape the frozen monstrosities. And despite Jack's attempts at keeping him safe, the broker is caught and iced. Jack almost suffers the same fate, but luckily Dwayne figures out that all you have to do to defeat the snowmen is
Just gotta rip off their carrots.
at her evil lair. Grilla tests her first snow globe of doom on Aaron Abel, who is apparently the first name on Santa's naughty list. Right. Well, the snow globe of doom doesn't work as it should, and Grilla gets a little pissy about it.
The machine isn't working. Fix it.
Jack and Dwayne do some magic hacking or some kind of nonsense bullshit like that, and find out that there was some unauthorized conjuring going on in Germany. Blah, 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 Nick's brother, blah, blah, treaty that can't be broken, blah, 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 blah. Dwayne and Jack don't have much time.
In 2 hours, I brief the presidents and prime ministers and kings and queens of everywhere.
The kings and queens of everywhere? No. The unlikely duo head to Germany, but on their way, Jack gets a call from his son's mother, who isn't happy that he isn't going to be at his son's school concert.
What am I supposed to do?
I don't want to have to tell you what to do, Jack. I want you to figure it out on your own.
On Christmas Eve? What school stays open on Christmas Eve to put on a pageant? What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here? Anyway, Dwayne gives his partner some advice on being a better father and drops some knowledge about Santa's brother, Krampus.
So you're saying Santa's brother started the naughty list?
Who happens to be Grila's ex-boyfriend. Jack and Dwayne arrive at Krampus's castle and distract some hellhounds with a rubber chicken named Ellen. I am not making any of this stuff up. This all happens in the movie. And the distraction works. But Jack gets a bit greedy and pockets some of Krampus's gold, which gets the pair captured and thrown into the castle dungeon. They're given a bit of time to bond before being brought up to watch Krampusschlap.
It's the official game of Krampusnacht,
which is literally just slap fighting. Oh, and then there's a bit of song and dance. God, please make it stop. So it turns out that Grilla did visit Krampus. When they were dating, she gave him some magical snow globe, and that's why she came back, to take back her gift.
What gift?
The glass cafe gift.
But she's not in Krampus's castle, and neither is Santa. Wanting to punish Mora for breaking their treaty, whatever that means, Krampus wants to keep Dwayne as a prisoner forever. But Jack taunts him, using his gambling addiction for good instead of evil. If Dwayne can beat Krampus in a slap fight, they get to walk free. Krampusschlap begins, and Dwayne gets the shit slapped out of him. But just as he's about to take his turn, Jack gives him his Ant-Man wrist power thingy doodad. Dwayne knocks Krampus across the room and uses some rock'em sock'em robots to cover their escape. As they're driving away, they find the path blocked by a strange player piano in the middle of the road. And sitting on top of it is a present for Jack. It's a snow globe of doom. Ooh. Just then, Jack gets a call from his son who is upset that his birth father didn't come to his Christmas Eve concert. Again with this shit. Dylan, Jack's son, is pissed because he thinks his father sent him a snow globe in lieu of attending the event. But it wasn't Jack who sent it, obviously, and when Dylan touches the snow globe, he disappears. Jack, who is overcome by his non-existent parental commitments, touches his own snow globe to go find his son. Dwayne contacts Zoe, and they discover that the abduction of St. Nick was a diversion.
Oh, dear Lord.
Grilla needs the North Pole's production facilities to duplicate the snow globe of doom. She and her team have infiltrated Santa's operation, and using their shape-shifting powers, have taken over the North Pole. Meanwhile, Jack and Dylan have a heart-to-heart through their snow globe prisons. I guess it's magic glass that doesn't muffle sound. Fine, whatever. But Jack discovers a fatal flaw in Grilla's plan when he makes some empty promises to his son.
I've made some mistakes, pal. I know that. But I also know that I can do better.
His words take him off of the naughty list, and the snow globes shatter. Don't question it. It's easier for all of us if we just let this shit play out. Soon after, Dwayne and Zoe meet up with Jack and his son, and they proceed to save the rest of the North Pole staff from Grilla's imprisonment. They race back to confront Grilla, who is preparing Santa's sleigh for her snow globe deliveries. A fight breaks out and... What is happening? What am I watching? I can't take any more of this. Let's wrap it up. Get it? Get it? Dwayne and Jack fight Grilla on Santa's sleigh, and teamwork makes the dream work. Grilla is thrown from the sleigh and into the abyss of Santa's village. But she's not dead. She shapeshifts into her original form, a giant ogre. All hope seems lost. But then Krampus shows up to get his ass handed to him. I mean, he gets tossed around like Loki at the end of the Avengers. And so do Dwayne and Jack. But no need to worry, because everyone is saved by a Deus Ex Santa Claus. He shouts the Greek word to summon his horde of reindeer. They knock Grilla into a bin full of snow globes, and she becomes imprisoned, hoisted by her own petard, as it were. And Christmas is saved. Santa and his crew manage to get everything back up and running. He even invites Jack and Dylan to join him and Dwayne on the trip. Jack and his son begin to build their relationship, and Dwayne is no longer disillusioned by adults. F this movie. The end. Typical of most movies these days, there is a sheen of quality to the look of Red 1. But it's a flimsy veneer. It's sprinkles on a cake made of shit. The script is all over the place, the acting is weak.
What do you mean?
Almost as if nobody cares to be a part of the production. Surprise. The cinematography is bare bones and hamstrung by muddled and overused special effects. And other than a handful of mildly creative creature designs, everything feels overwhelmingly derivative. I remember watching the opening scene from Scrooged, the commercial for The Night the Reindeer Died, starring Lee Majors, and thinking, why can't someone make this movie? And so they did. But they didn't give us the over-the-top ridiculousness.
Incoming!
They didn't give us the insanity of it all.
You're being a real good boy this year.
Yes, you sure have.
They gave us a watered-down, milquetoast version that feels like every Marvel movie since Endgame. It's almost like Jake Kasdan was trying to become the Tarantino of Marvel Xmas. Pulling a bit from this movie, a little bit from that movie, which isn't the worst idea. I mean, even saying it, I'm like, yeah, that could work. But it doesn't. At least not here. And I think that's partly because everything in this movie is taken so seriously. Sure, there are a couple self-referential jokes tucked away here and there, but for the most part, this movie lacks a self-awareness that is fundamentally necessary for this kind of film. And the world building? Ridiculous. Half the movie feels like it doesn't understand the concept of time, and Santa's village is a city? Hidden away like Wakanda? A secret to the entire world, except for all of the military personnel who interact with Santa every year.
Red 1, you were clear for takeoff.
This is the holiday equivalent of the moon landing conspiracy theory. You're just gonna hide this massive secret from everyone? Really? And let's talk about character development for a second. And 1 second should be all the time we need because there literally is none. The Rock's character has given up on Christmas until the very last scene of the movie when he is magically reinvigorated by watching Jack and his son bond. Bullshit. Jack is a candy-stealing alcoholic criminal in debt to a bookie who magically starts caring about his kid. Bullshit. None of it makes any sense. Go watch Scrooged if you want to see how character development actually works. Bill Murray's Frank Cross, like Ebenezer Scrooge from A Christmas Carol, is systematically broken down and rebuilt into a better human being over the course of the movie. There's depth to his development. You actually feel as if the character is changing. And let's not get started with the plot. There are so many plot holes in this story that it makes it nearly unwatchable. For example, Grilla. Her entire scheme is to trap everyone who has ever been on the naughty list in a snow globe prison. A snow globe prison that one can escape from by intending on being a better person. You don't even have to be a better person. You can just say the right thing and get taken off the naughty list.
Huh? What?
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 What in the actual
As for the pacing and length of the movie, it's not terrible, other than the insane amount of time we spend hanging out with Krampus. I get it, it's one of the few parts of the movie that relies on practical effects, so they had to get their money's worth out of it. But it's completely unnecessary and drags the entire movie to a halt. Although I will say this, I'd rather hang out with Krampus than Grilla. What a boring-ass villain. Ooh, I'm a witch and I want everyone in the world to be nice. And no catharsis. None. The end of the movie falls flat because none of the characters have had to sacrifice anything to achieve their goals. The motivation of the antagonist is poorly developed, along with everything else. It's not satisfying by any metric. It feels like paint by numbers without the numbers. Listen, some movies just feel like Christmas. Elf, A Christmas Story, Jingle All the Way, Home Alone. There's something about those movies that feels like Christmas. And it's not just the inclusion of blatant Christmas elements, there's a mood to them. Even movies like Grumpy Old Men and Gremlins and Die Hard have it. Red One does not. But Red One is not just a bad Christmas movie.
Go on.
It's a bad movie, period. Full stop.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest about this one. Red One was a vehicle for The Rock's massive ego. Guy took a $50 million payday, 1/5 of the total production cost, to make a lazy holiday movie that he, apparently, could barely be bothered to show up for. There were reports that some days he would show up 8 hours late for filming, forcing the cast and crew to work on other scenes until he graced them with his presence. Jesus, if anyone deserves to be on Santa's naughty list, it's The Rock.
Yes, I know.
followed directly by this movie, because Red 1 is a truly terrible movie.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
He knows when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, and he knows that about every single person on this planet.
No!